My name is Ben Stevens. I'm a 6'10" center for the Montreal Alliance. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've been playing basketball since I was 8 years old and playing professionally for the past 2 years.
Cool. Where do you start playing? Like a specific school? What's your first memory on the court?
So when I was 8, I kind of really got into basketball. I was just the tallest in my class, and I was good at every sport, but I think kind of basketball stuck out to me because it was just probably the easiest as I was the tallest. Yeah.
So when you said 2 years as a pro, what's the first contract you ever got? When you consider being pro, I guess it's when you start being paid.
Paid,
to
yeah.
play?
So my first professional contract, I signed to the Southwest Slammers in Bunbury.
Okay.
That's Southwest in the WA, just 2 hours south of Perth. It was kind of a crazy experience because I just finished my university career, and then 2 weeks later I'm on a plane to Perth, which is the furthest city in the world from where I was living.
Like literally the antipod or something like that?
Exactly. So yeah, my parents are like, what the heck? Like, you're on the other side of the world. And so I started out there. I didn't know what to expect. It was, great people, really took care of me, like really just like a small town vibe, like just big community wanted to welcome me and wanted to really proud of their town and wanted to show it off. So I loved being down there. It was awesome.
Wasn't it too hard being like away from your family, like you said? And it's also something we'll discuss. But you just travel back and forth in between countries for like short season, like the CBL, 4 months, and then you go abroad and all that. So yeah, how easy or how tough is it on the mind and on the body?
Yeah, for me, like growing up, I always wanted to be like doing something or out of the house, as if it's playing with our friends or like in the park or just out and about. So when I was 18, I went to university, like in Wilfrid Laurier, which is a 2-hour flight from Halifax. And so from 18, I've always kind of just been away from home. I'd go back in the summertime for a month to my parents, but then other than that, I was away from home. So going to Perth, obviously it's the furthest place you can get from Halifax. It didn't seem, as difficult because, FaceTime nowadays and the time difference was a little challenging, but it wasn't like too hard for me. A little further, but just felt very.
Yeah. Was your family always like supportive, and did they understand that you were playing pro and that it meant like a bunch of sacrifices and like traveling and all that?
Yeah, my parents have always been super supportive. They were actually kind of unsure about my professional career, but when I got signed that contract in Australia, they were like, "Okay, we'll see where this goes." But yeah, I think they're always supportive. They maybe not doubtful, but just unsure. You know?
And how did the opportunity to come to Montreal arrive? Were you contacted by Jermaine, by Joel? How did it come about? And did they see tape of you like playing in Australia? How did it all work?
Yeah, so I was at the time I was playing basketball in Germany in Pro A, and I got a message on Instagram from Jermaine Smalls, the coach, and he said, "Hey Ben, like we have a few mutual connections. Been watching some of your games. Really like how you play. What are your thoughts on coming down to Montreal to play basketball this summer?" And so we talked a bit more. He knows my agent, and I think they sent some more film to him. And then he's actually like my agent and Jermaine are pretty close as well, so they had a good relationship to start off with. So it just made things easy.
Cool. How have you liked Montreal so far? As you came in like maybe good 2 months ago.
Yeah, so
it's still pretty fresh, but yeah. What do you?
Early May, I arrived in Montreal, and from the jump, it's just an amazing city. Like just me and you have talked about the food in the restaurants here in Montreal, and they're phenomenal. The people are great. I would come to Montreal like every summer because my dad's from Montreal, and so I would visit. My grandmother, and then like later on we would just come down to visit and see the city. So I love it.
So I heard you're a foodie, right? So one of the first things I think you told me when we first met. So what's the one restaurant you recommend for any foodie visiting Montreal that has just one occasion of going out?
One occasion going out in Montreal, there's so many good places to pick from. My favorite that I would go to with my family is Moulin. Is that the correct name? I want if it's the wrong name, I want to say it right.
I'll just put it on the screen.
No, but it's really good, and it's well priced, great service, and the owners are awesome as well. Good
Very
people.
Cool. And I heard also that you're a wine enthusiast, right? Is that a thing?
A wine enthusiast, yeah.
Yeah, and that you have like post-career that it might be where you want to head?
Yeah, that's something that really interests me. I think there's just so much to learn about it. It's especially traveling and stuff. Like there's so many different places around the world I didn't realize that make great wine. I was in Macedonia for a month this past year, and I was like, oh, like I didn't realize Macedonia makes wine. So I got being able to play basketball and see in these different places, I was able to try these different wines, which is pretty cool.
Very nice, very nice. So about the Alliance again, you were made captain pretty quick after a few games in this season, co-captain with Quincy. Mm-hmm. What did it? Well, many questions. What did it mean to you? How did this come about, and what does it really entail on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. So being captain for the Alliance, Jermaine asked me to step up into that role, and for me, I was a bit surprised. I've never been captain before. I never saw myself as like a really vocal leader, but not all the time does it have to be a vocal leader, someone that's always like yelling and talking and motivating. You can also do that through your actions and how you play on the court and your kind of demeanor.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm pretty level-headed most of the time, but I think the level-headed, composed, and always trying to, do whatever it takes to win. And I think if you see that in a leader, that's someone you want to follow into battle.
Yeah. Did you feel added pressure to your role as you were just also playing in Canada professionally for the first time? I think was it
first time playing CBL? Yeah.
So that's something big. Plus, getting your name out there. How did you?
For me, there wasn't added pressure. It was more so like, okay, now you have a bigger role. You need to go out of your comfort zone a little bit more. Something I've never really done. Like I said, never been captain, so I didn't really. I wasn't sure what that really entailed. I think, it was just a bit of a step out of my comfort zone and more a bigger role. And still not perfect, trying to get better every day at it, but
I'm big on like the mental preparation, on whether it be in sports or any other stuff. Just like any player, you have good days, you have bad days. When you have like a bad day and you don't have the minutes you thought you would have for a specific game, how do you bounce from that? You have the captain role, that's one thing, but you also have your personal role, like as a player. How do you bounce from like a bad game or or a game that is not at par with what you're capable of?
Yeah. So being able to move on to the next play is a really important thing in basketball, because there's so many different, breaking it down to the game aspect, there's so many possessions within the game itself that you can't focus on the last one because the next one's coming up right away. It's very similar in the CBL, where there's so many games. You can't look at the last loss too much in depth, because there's a game tomorrow, and so you have to just be ready to move on from it, learn from it, look at it, and realize what you did wrong, but also be ready to just forget about it and focus on the next task at hand. If it's a bad performance, think about what you did maybe before the game, during, what your mental state was like, and think about why you maybe played bad, or what was the factors in it, and what can you change for the next game coming up.
Do you think that your external factors can impact your game, and you feel it, like whether it be physical things like lack of sleep, food, all those stuff, or the personal stuff like relationships and all that, or do you manage to really lock in the game and like practice as well, and when you're there, it's like nothing else exists?
Yeah, I think it's tough when there's like outside factors that really maybe can affect your mental health. That some things you can't put aside, but for me personally, I'm able to think about I'm not. I would say I try and be present. I try and be present as much as I can. I think that's really important, to think about being in the moment and not maybe thinking about the future. Not thinking about, if I make this basket, I'm gonna this and this will happen, or I just missed this basket. How crappy or unfortunate. Or as long as you think about being in the moment and what's going on and what's in front of you right now, then I think it's easier to not be distracted by external factors.
Yeah. And talking about external factors, what do you think of the Montreal Alliance crowd? And I've done my first away games this season, and I'm biased, but I think we have one of the best crowds. I haven't felt the same energy in all the arenas that we've been to. Is that how you feel? And yeah, how do you? Is there such a big difference playing home versus playing away, based on the crowd we have?
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a huge difference playing home and away. I think for me personally, I've had my best games at home. I haven't played as great over in away games. Every time I'm at home, I just feed off the energy, and I think that's one of my favorite things about basketball. Like when you get a big dunk and the crowd goes crazy and they get that little adrenaline rush, and it's like, this is why I play. Yeah. I love that. And
I think you probably have on the dunkometer. You're probably one of the highest in our team. So you probably have like your fans' choice because you bring that energy into those few moments that gets the crowd crazy, right?
Yeah, and that's why like people ask, what's your why? And like I live for that kind of moment, right? And the energy in Verdun is phenomenal. The crowd. Sometimes you have crowds that are cheering like the kids' game. They're constantly cheering. Yeah. They don't necessarily know what's going on, but Verdun, it's like they understand basketball. It seems like, right? So it's like we'll get a steal, boom, crowds going crazy. Get a big dunk. They realize we're down 2. Now it's a tie game. They're extra hype. It's just they know ball.
Yeah, and you see that like a block. In theory, is not much. Right? It's the stop, like another stop. But like basketball fans know that a block just gets people crazy,
right? And
the arena gets crazy when there's like a nice block. For us, when you're away, it's not the same. No. You don't necessarily hear like you said, the fans just getting crazy for the right moments, right?
Yes. Yeah.
This stuff might not be in the final stuff because it's just curiosity. On the very last play of the last game, you try that block. No, and I'm curious because I watched it again. And like, damn! And actually, you touched the ball first, and then you touched his head. And I think Jermaine was like, or someone was like, oh, you should just raise your hand. Like, but at the end of the day, he would have gone below and he would have scored. So worst comes to worst, he goes to the free throw and it's probably our best shot. So again, might not be here, but what was and it goes so fast, but what was the thinking? Did you think you could block? Was your goal to just forbid him from scoring and putting him on the line?
It's like instant moment, right? It's like it's all instinct. And it's tough to think about, if I foul him, he's going to shoot a free throw and they're going to lose the game. Game's over. Yeah. But you have to realize that all I'm thinking in that moment is that, like, you can't let them score. You can't let them score. And so I'm looking over here. Next thing I know, I just see the ball driving to the rim wide open. No one's defending them. I got to step up. I got to figure out a way. I know he can't score. He can't score. And I'm trying to do my best to block the shot. What I should have done is just put both hands up and took it in my chest. But I don't know. He makes it, and the game's over. And I look back and I think, I could have blocked it or what. It's like you never know, right? You never know.
It's a split-second decision,
exactly.
And you try to block because at the end of the day, you don't want him to score. So maybe putting your hands up.
And I thought they called it intentional fouls. Like, first of all, I have 4 fouls. I know if I foul, they're going to score. Why would I intentionally foul him? Right?
Yeah. Flagrant? Did they call it intentional or flagrant? Or are they 2 different stuff?
I should know this, but I forget. Yeah.
I don't know either. What do you think of the target score? Because it's also first season that you did it. Lots of people, when we explain for the first time, like, it just kills the whole stuff of basketball and blah blah blah. I think it's great. What do you think of?
I think target score is awesome. I think, it just brings way more excitement into the game. I think also as the season progresses and guys get more comfortable playing in target score, you're going to see a lot more exciting games. Well, first few games for us, it's like guys get really tight and start missing shots. And it's like, now it's just dragging out. I think as guys get more comfortable in those high pressure situations, you're going to see a lot more exciting, like just bucket, score, and then it's just next. It's next bucket wins, right? Yeah. Like in Saskatoon.
Yeah, it's crazy. And just the last game, we were up 1, then we go down 7, and even then we had a few occasions to just almost win the game. So it keeps the leading team having to be offensive instead of just going back to defense and just wasting
clock time. Yeah, and then those drawn out fouls, and everyone says last 2 minutes of a basketball game lasts half an hour to an hour. It's crazy.
So that plus people start leaving their seats, right? If you're down 10 with 2 minutes to play, you just like that's it.
Time to go.
Yeah. So here it's just down 10. You just keep getting crazy, right?
Yeah, like fan retention, right? It gets keep fans wanting to stay and come back.
we're away right now in Calgary because we play tomorrow. When you guys play tomorrow, what's like game day routine for you? Whether when it comes to like sleep, food, and just overall prep, especially on the road. We traveled this morning. We're Tuesday, we play Wednesday, and we go back home. So it's a whole 3 days of travels, like a 2-hour game. So you have your whole routine that needs to be aligned on this. So yeah, what's your typical day?
Do you want to start like from the flight or from?
Well, from flight, yeah.
Okay, so today we traveled to Calgary. Had to get up at 5:45. Got to the airport for around 6:15. Flight was at what 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock, and then 4 hours on the plane. Didn't
good
get,
4.5 hours.
Good 4.5, yeah.
Jeez, and you guys were all stacked.
No exit row today. No, yes, it was a little cramped up.
Yeah.
But then get to the hotel, eat, and it's about 3 o'clock now. So after this, maybe have a little nap, and then watch some TV, relax, just let my body just chill out, and then we practice. We film at 5, I think, and then practice at 6, 2 hours, and then back here, eat dinner, get to bed. Let's say 10, 11. I'll probably get to sleep by 11, and then shoot around probably at like 10 o'clock tomorrow. So wake up 8:30. Wake up at 8:30, have breakfast, and then get to shoot around for 10. Hour shoot till 11, back eat lunch, and then have an hour nap. People say like 25-minute nap is like ideal, but on game day I want to have a little bit longer, an hour and a half, just to. I feel that's the most refreshed I feel after.
Hour and a half is like it's more like a short night, more than it is a long nap, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So then the game's at 7:30. We got to be there for 6. So I definitely have to wake up before. Like I want to wake up at 4:30, so I gauge my nap at that time, and then 4:30 gives me enough time to have an espresso, get to the gym for 6, ready to go, and then.
And you train because you train at 6 tonight, which is 8 p.m. in Montreal time, so it's quite late. But you guys train on the later side of the day just because tomorrow is a late night or late
exactly.
night. It's
you
like a late game, so you want to be.
You want to practice similar times to when you play. So yeah, there's a 2-hour time difference, which can be a factor when you have an away game.
Yeah,
especially on the West Coast. Absolutely.
What do you foresee for the rest of the season? We had a crazy start, then we had a dip, and now we're kind of back to like a 50-50 record. Where do you see the Alliance going? Where do you hope we can get?
I think I would love to host a playoff game in Montreal. I think that'd be awesome. I think it's still up in the air on who's going to finish first, second, third, and fourth. It's definitely a tight race, so that anything's possible. A couple wins. We're only a few wins away from first place. And so anything's possible. I think I have a lot of hope for the rest of the season. Yeah, I definitely can see us hosting a playoff game.
What's next for you once the season is over? Do you have already plans, or are you still looking for a contract? And what's next for Ben?
After the season, it'll be mid-August, August 24th. That's the finals, right? That's when we win. So I'll have a month off for sure. I talked to my agent. I want to take a month off, rest my body. I've been going for 2.5 years, straight. And I just need a month to just kind of relax. Obviously, weightlifting and stuff, cardio, but not like running, but more so like let's say on the bike or rowing machine, stuff like that. Not as intense on my knees. And then find a contract for Europe in October. Yeah, nothing solidified yet.
Okay. Do you have like a favorite country in Europe? So you went to Germany, you said?
I played in Germany.
Germany, Australia. So if you're a wine enthusiast, you should go to France at some point.
I would love to get. If I can get to France, if you see Ben Stevens in France, I'm happy.
Very cool. Very cool. So what can we wish you, just not for the season, but in general?
What? Say it again.
What can we wish you, like personal life and all that?
Good health, happy. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.